pumped for the tourney chapter 7. I would call look who's talking now on the court. And like I guess you would have to say like the court was a good love story to the girls in the audience. Also a long graduated walk to home base. Of course, it was. I'm thinking basketball, but of course, you had the first, second, and third base. Word is, some girls was at the games giving up some head. That was like Reggie's high school. I got beauty marks down there from burning myself with Mount Alp water while I was standing in Quebec, outside of America. That's some super fly stuff. But as far as looking at who's talking on the court now, I'm trying to think. It was like the court was a pregnancy egg, and like, look who's talking now, right? And the jerseys were like a crossover from like head to toe. Like, you can see Reggie waves, and his hair. Reggie had good hair, so you can see his waves from a mile away. That was one of his purest deities. Just good baby hair on the court. As far as a pregnancy egg, once again, the jerseys were a sperm bank, kind of silky white. And as far as look is talking now, I let the game speak for itself. I'll let y'all be the judge. Um, well, those games led up to jizz effect when I got older, but that's a little more of a purity deity. That's after being struck by like a Shanghai lightning, but I was struck by lightning. So while I was being struck, it presented this deity of like basketballs in black and white on top of each other that were hearts. But the hearts of the game symbolize like Shanghai, the Monkey Kingdom. It's kind of being like in a airy glow in the temple of the basketball skies. That it was like we were ancient Japanese gods, goddess, lords, stuff like that, right? And somewhere in there, like you can see Shanghai. The kids were just on some Marvel type stuff. We were all flying, and I guess you would have to say that uh, certain purity of aspects of the game, as far as like pumping out electricity of the game, the electricity of like the highlight of the game would be like the lightning rod of the game. And somewhere in there I'm thinking oh, like once again it was like a Japanese game, but somewhere there in some of these games, if you pay attention to the ceiling and the lights, you can see like a Japanese wedding tassel. um it was kind of in like Big Trouble in Little China. The girls with the Japanese tassels, that if he got like two girls, one that was Japanese and one that was white with blue eyes, right, and got him in the Japanese tassel, that he would have immortal life. Well, that happened to me. All seriousness, that the games led up into like a Shanghai Japanese tassel of a graduated piece of like growing from like playing in the temples of heaven on the courts to like being in like a basketball church and a Japanese church and a university that orbited around the earth. Like I noticed like certain aspects of the graduated like artwork of the guys and goddess and electricity on the course, the rides that um they like certain aspects of the life is like the players orbited around like this oval ancient mirrored tapestry of like love deities. I guess you can say it's like love and basketball, kinda sorta, without like the influence of like Big Mama being absent but present in like spiritual formats of like somewhere in the court and the springs in the court, a court spring break. Um, it was a lot of like kind of like your eyes being cocked to the rim, like your eyes were wide open to the ceilings of your mind, from head to toe. It was like the ceiling of the game and the electricity tickled the audience feet from head to toe. Like the ceiling gave off so much power. It was like funny gas, a medical gaseous chamber of like all type kids bouquets of flowers. Like a sexual bouquet. Jizz people. If you were good enough to play with the gods, because like a lot of those kids that were at my games were definitely going to service every Sunday. Of course, you had the pastor's daughter at the games, the first lady daughter at the game. But all to look at it from such a visual oval mirror of ancient tapestry of like wind, water, and air, earth, wind, water, and fire. Like the booty juices, they were churning like butter to sunshine. Of course, like it gave off like this airy, foggy glow where the steam was rising off like the lights, and it was kind of like uh, uh, a pregnancy doubling back for your inner child kind of moment. And on the court, doubling back for my inner child, the whole presentation of like childbirth or being born, I see like this haven of like rest without getting rest. The rest of love as like this omni being of like presence. Some of these games were like abstract to like kisses. You know how you look at a person and if you look at a certain way you get a kiss. Well, some of these kisses, it's like it's like your homework. And compared to God, the way God looks at homework, it's kind of like writing your name in the sky. But at the same time, you wrote your name in like this book of like superhuman characters where they had their own Marvel like speed or maybe hops, just somewhere to be the ability of like this digital era grade of like it's kind of like a fast ball in every sport that was like a secret garden from first, second, third base or home run. I mean, some of these plays in its own sensuality are stimulating, like um follicles, cuticles, just rarefied tapestry of like sensual organs that were misogynist. It's kind of like the basketball game was like a Japanese masseuse. You were sweaty. They were oiling you in certain kind of ways. I'm pretty sure the girls put on lotion at the games or before the games, or they just pampered themselves before coming to the game. And we got like a giant glimpse into like all these deities of purity of oils, whether it was virgin olive oil, stuff like that. Yeah.